We're back at it again with another Fortnite Save the World weapon review. We're reviewing the Oblitirator sniper rifle that is in the shop at the moment of me making this video, and it's going to be in the shop for 1 week. The Oblitirator basically specializes at high single target damage, and it's very effective at doing that, okay? When it comes down to mist monsters, when it comes down to Husky Husk, if you're at a really decent range, the Oblitirator is just going to completely annihilate them. And that's what I want to talk about, right? When you're at a specific range, because the Oblitirator isn't really extremely effective at the close ranges, and you don't really want to use it as much as the medium ranges at time, because usually at the medium ranges is also where there's going to be a lot of husk around you, so you're not really going to be able to be very effective with it. It has a low magazine, 4 bullets by default. It has a really slow fire rate, and it has a really slow reload speed. So that's why I say the Oblitirator is just best used at the long ranges. However, even with those things that sort of quote unquote hold back the Oblitirator, it still makes the Oblitirator one of the best snipers in the game, just because you can give the Oblitirator sniper rifle to one of your defenders, okay? Now, the Oblitirator also shoots through walls, so you can basically set up your defender, wall her up in 4 walls, and then she's just going to be shooting husk and mist monsters from a box that isn't going to be taking any damage. And the reason why this is a big deal, it's because if she's in a box, the husk aren't really going to go after her, and if the husk aren't going after her, then she's just going to be damaging and destroying husk. And guess what? You're not going to have to worry about reviving her, like for example other defenders like bruiser defenders. And the Oblitirator is also one of the reasons why I have 2 sniper defenders with me at, of course, all times. However, I just want to point out, I don't really think the Oblitirator is sort of like a super shredder. I mean, obviously that's obvious. The point is, you're not going to be using this Oblitirator sniper rifle as a primary type weapon or as a secondary type weapon. You're most likely going to be using it to obliterate high level targets, like for example an epic boss or a mist monster, okay? And if you're running impact on this thing, you're going to make mist monsters stagger so much that you're literally going to laugh at how effective you are being with this thing. The point is, you want to be getting your hands on the Oblitirator because it's really good for defenders. It's a really good high single damage, high single target damage type weapon. And on top of all that, one of the things that I just want to mention about the Oblitirator as well is that it can also destroy structures. So if there's a building that's annoying you, instead of using your pickaxe, you can just use the Oblitirator and completely destroy that building by shooting down its walls. It's one of the things that I use the Oblitirator for a lot, okay? Anyways, with that said, let's move on forward to recommended perks. Okay, so here are my perks for the Oblitirator. I'm running critical damage and critical rating. However, after using these perks for a while now, I'm just going to take them out, right? For the second perk, I want impact, because the Oblitirator, it does so much consistent damage that I just don't think it's worth having critical rating and critical damage on it, okay? If you want a super crazy damage hitting machine that's just really good at doing damage to anything overall, sure, go with critical rating and critical damage. However, I just think that's a waste of time, because you're not going to have an Oblitirator that specializes on all-around type activities. Specifically, activities that of course have to do with your defender. I want my Oblitirator to be very consistent to my defender, and that's why I'm putting the impact perk on the second slot in the future. And of course, I'm going to be going with damage for the first perk. However, fire rate and magazine size is probably going to help out your defender a lot as well. It's really just up to you guys, okay? Now, here, obviously you want to go with energy, unless, you know, you want a water Oblitirator. I just have physical because I'm not really going to pay 1,500 re-perk. I'm sorry, re-perk ain't easy to get, alright? I have headshot damage for the 4th perk because I like to use the Oblitirator from time to time. And of course, I do like going for those headshots, so I do want to have the headshot damage. And the damage to mist monsters and bosses is just essential for me, okay? I think this is the only perk that you should have on your 5th slot, just because this is a weapon that you want to give out to your defender, okay? And this is a weapon that does really well against mist monsters and bosses, and again, a weapon that does really good damage. But like I said, if you want a straight up Oblitirator that does massive amounts of damage to one single target, go with double critical rating and double critical damage. I think it's just going to be a waste of utility when it comes down to the Obliterator, but hey, you know, there's people out there that just want the best of the best, and that's about it. Now, on top of all that, if you just want to use the Obliterator for yourself, you guys can go with double headshot damage, and then of course you guys can choose impact. Like that, you guys of course are doing some major staggering to miss monsters and stuff. And then for the first perk, you guys can put magazine size if of course you just want to be using the Obliterator very frequently. Those are the only 2 perk sets that I'm going to recommend. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like, and I am going to give the Obliterator a 5 out of 5 stars because it's definitely a must-have, my boys. See you guys in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed the weapon review.